Good morning, Hank. It's Friday, but in my heart, it's Question Tuesday, the day that I answer real questions from real nerd fighters. Among all the vitriolic, poorly spelled, obscene, and frankly not very nerdfighterly comments to your last video, there were also many excellent questions. Are you doing any readings or public events in the near future? Yes, actually, tonight, if you're over 21, I'm going to be in Chicago performing at the Hideout with my friend Mark Baser. What happened in Depew, New York, where a few people were trying to remove your book from the curriculum? A ton of people went to the school board meeting on Tuesday, which I really appreciate, but unfortunately, due to the obscure rules of school board parliamentary procedure, none of them was allowed to speak. The 5 people who did speak all spoke out against the book, although several of them hadn't read the book. One person said that he didn't have to read the book because, and I'm quoting directly here, you don't have to have cancer to diagnose cancer. That analogy proves why we need good English literature education. There's another board meeting on March 4th. More info soon. Is there an official release date for Paper Towns? Yes, October 16th. I know I said it was going to be September, but I was lying. God, I love lying. Who the F is Hank?
Hank is a veteran of the CIA Directorate of Operations and U.S. Navy SEAL Team 3. He is 5 foot 10 inches tall, weighs 170 pounds, and has green eyes. Hank was an operative of the 3rd Echelon, a clandestine division of the National Security Agency. Hank is extremely agile and an expert in the art of stealth. When in the field, Hank prefers to work alone.
Who's more of an evil lady? Queen Rano Queen Rabidoandum Pointy Marina Rano? Queen Rabidoandrum Pointy Marina Rano? I was so close! Queen Rabidoandri... Who's more of an evil lady? Queen Rabidoandrianum Pointy Marina Rana Bologna the First?
Yes, I did it! I finally did it!
Or Lady Elizabeth Bathory? First off, I'd just like to say to the person who posed that question, that was an excellent spelling of Queen Rana Bologna's first name. And second off, definitely Queen Rana Bologna. What do you think of nerd fighting cows? Obviously, I'm in favor of them. I mean, everyone knows that drinking milk from nerd fighting cows is the #1 way to get your recommended daily allowance of awesome. Middle brownies or edge brownies? Excellent question. Edge brownies. Is Looking for Alaska a great book or the greatest book? Oh, YouTube user USAF Jeff, you sure do know how to get yourself on Question Tuesdays. Sadly, Looking for Alaska is neither a great book nor the greatest book, but I hope that it is, good. Lost or Heroes? Books. Are there any puppy-sized animals who you think would be even better than puppy-sized elephants? Well, it's no secret that I'm awfully fond of puppy-sized humans. How nerdy is too nerdy? Let me answer your question with a question. How awesome is too awesome? Was the character Alaska in your book Looking for Alaska based on a real person? Yes. No. I mean, in some ways she's based on me, but then in other ways she's based on other people. There needs to be a word in the English language that encompasses both yes and no, like NES. What's your favorite video game console? Strangely, the answer to that question is also NES. What's your favorite anagram? I'm pretty fond of the fact that Britney Spears anagrams to Presbyterians. Could God create a burrito so hot that even God couldn't eat it? I think that's what the Buddhists would call a question wrongly put. Like, I do think that questions about God's omnipotence are interesting, but ultimately I think the question for people of faith is how and whether God works in the world, and how and whether we can participate in that work. If 2 nerdfighters have a baby, is the baby born awesome, or does the baby have to develop into awesome? Good question, and I know just the person to ask. Brotherhood 2.0 resident mathematician and future state congressperson Daniel Biss. Quick question, when you were looking at the ultrasound of your new baby, did the baby look awesome? Okay, thanks. They're born awesome. If you were forced to get a tattoo, what would it be? Well, I really would have to be forced, but I'd probably get DFTBA tattooed on my hand. So that way, whenever I walked into a room and I couldn't remember what I was supposed to do there, I could be like, oh right, I'm supposed to be awesome. Who's that figure on top of your bookshelf? I believe you'd be referring to my Black Santa. This will all make sense when you read Paper Towns. Are you still sticking to the 4-minute time limit? Yep.